na walang masasayang na pera ng bayan. Pero siyempre po, tumatakbo ang oras. Dumating ang punto na inamin nilang hindi nila kayang gamitin ang pondo sa taon na pinaglaanan ng budget. Ang tanong nga po, anong gagawin natin sa mga hindi pa nagagamit na pondo? Linawin ko lang po muna ang usapin ng savings sa gobyerno. Di po ba sa ating mga tahanan, palaging magandang bagay ang magkaroon ng savings? Halimbawa, kapag nakamenos gastos sa biniling karne, may ekstrang pera para makabili ng pangrekado. Sa pamahalaan, mas komplikado ang ibig sabihin ng savings. May mga pagkakataong mabuti ito, katulad ng mahigit sa 26 bilyong pisong natipid ng DPWH dahil sa maayos at tapat na proseso.
Welcome back to Philippine Sandcut. I'm Buddy Cunanan. Tonight's topic is Political Dynasties, DAP, and PDAP. And joining us still are the officials of the Movement Against Political Dynasties, Danilo Olivares, co-chairman, and Attorney Jun De Leon, SecGen. So welcome back to our last and final segment, gents. Let's take off from where we stopped earlier, pump priming the economy. So, ayun nga, di ba, sabi nga nila, majority of this went to the senators, to yes, legislators.
Senators, pambili ng PCOS machine,
yes,
pambayad doon sa utang ng Bureau of Customs, and other things which are not directly related to pump priming the economy.
Yes, yes. And talagang it's really as you said, as Mr. Valle said, it's very, you know, maraming ambiguity dito, di ba? Kasi sabi nga niya, parang tinago-tago, there was lack of transparency, and all that. And yes.
Doon sa mga studies, bakit hindi tayo masyadong maka-attract ng foreign investments, right? Businesses to be relocated here. We're lagging behind in terms of infrastructure. This has been for so many years now. Kung gusto nilang to accelerate the development, they could have used the 237 billion, sorry, to do all this infrastructure. Why would they have spent it to any other things?
Yes, and
talagang hindi naman makaka-accelerate.
Like the airport na lang, ang tagal-tagal. Ilang beses na kinikriticize yung airport, boy.
And there is budget pala for that. No? Kaya nga sabi ng isang senador, bakit hindi?
Kahit wala kang budget, yung DAP mo, pwede mong gamitin kung talagang good intention ka.
Yes, yes. So, wow. I mean, nakakayamot, no, Mr. Olivares?
But you know, going back to political dynasties, as I said earlier, no, now we have more arms, no? We have more bullets to fight political dynasties. Because nga, magkakambal yung dalawa na yung dynasty at saka yung DAP and PDAP na yan eh. No? But the sad part about the bill that we want passed before 2016, sabi nga ni Speaker Belmonte, yung aming position kasi is one per family only. No? But we're willing to compromise, 2 per family. Sabi ni Speaker Belmonte during after the committee hearing in the House of Representatives, sabi niya yung 1 talagang hindi lulusot yan. You know? Pero yung 2 malabo pa rin.
Kasi sila dalawa na sila eh.
Why?
Si Joy, Vice Mayor.
Why? Because nga out of 290 congressmen, 290 congressmen, 200 ang tatamaan kung isa lang. I'm sorry, 60 ang tatamaan kung isa lang.
You're saying they will be restricted to having only 2 family members, immediate family members, in government, in elected positions.
Ano tawag ito? Yung...
And one cannot succeed the other.
Hindi pwede pa succession. Hindi pwede. No? Hindi pwede. So, yun ang nakakaiyak eh. Na sabi ni Speaker Belmonte, yung isa lang per family, malabo. No? Because maraming tatamaan. Lalo nang mas malabo kung dalawa. I mean, kung isa, talaga hindi lulusot yan. Maski yung dalawa, baka mahirapan pa.
Yes,
no?
yes.
So, meaning, tinatanong ko sa sarili ko, how come we're electing congressmen and senators to legislate for the good of the country? But itong kanilang statement na ganito, even among sa Senate, 21 belong to political families out of 24. No? So, again, doon ang sabi ng media, mukhang malabo rin na makapasa. Yung 1 or even 2 per family.
But I mean,
So are they
yeah.
legislating for the country or for their self-interest?
Alam niyo, Attorney Mr. Olivares, okay, I want to ask you this question. I mean, this is all very nice, your advocacy, ideal, very noble, pero what are the chances really of this passing
In Congress?
in Congress? I mean, because, I mean, if I was a congressman, I'm putting myself in their shoes.
Negative.
Talagang ganun kagad sa akin yun,
Well,
di ba?
Negative.
Yeah.
Pwede maging positive if they will water it down. Sabi nga, kung 3 per family, baka pwede pa. Ano?
Even 3?
So,
diba?
but
Still
for
a
me,
dynasty.
but for me, you know, if they legislate, if they pass a bill like that, just to comply with the requirement of the Constitution, no, my God, they'll be legislating to legitimize dynasties. Kung
Yes.
3
In
or
effect,
more
in
ang
effect.
talagang wala. I mean, sabi nga ni Congressman Erice, no, siya yung sponsor ng bill. Ay pag ganun, wag na lang. Because there is no reform. There will be no reform.
Kung watered down, then what for?
Kung water down na gaya na 2-3 pala, pwede pa. No?
Earlier,
So-
sinabi niyo po na you're more optimistic now in the hearing. There was a Senate hearing apparently, and you were very buoyed by yung
Yeah.
results. And bakit po kayo mas masaya ngayon? Because of, I mean, what was the source of optimism
Well, at
earlier?
least nga, sa lower house, nakapasa na sa committee.
Okay.
Ano? At ngayon lang kami tinatawag para umattend nga ng mga hearings, even sa Senate committee with Senator Angara. So, at least, pinag-uusapan na. Hindi kagaya nung for the past 27 years, dinededma talaga nila yung basta dynasty ang pinag-uusapan. Wala yan. Gano'n, no? So, at least pinag-uusapan na yan. But if it is watered down,
I have a quick question. Your proposed bill is, you want to limit, let's say, sabi niyo nga, 1 o 2 or 3, but immediate family or the whole clan? What are we talking about here? Let's say immediate family.
Up to second degree of consanguinity and affinity.
nung una, first, 1 lang.
Wow,
No?
okay.
1 lang.
Noong una hanggang fourth kami.
Oo.
Pero wow, that's...
Then we lowered to
yeah, that's a bit,
up to second degree na lang.
We're willing to...
Kasi kung fourth,
Compromise.
medyo...
Halos wala na eh.
Di ba?
Halos
Lahat
wala
mo talaga,
na.
mukhang ano.
For example, si Pinoy, hindi na rin pwede si
Bam.
Bam Aquino.
Oo.
First cousin is fourth degree.
Oo, o kaya si Riangaras, ang dami nila sa...
Ang dami nila.
Ang dami
Hindi
nila
na
sa
rin sila
gobyerno.
pwede.
Binay.
Di ba?
Biganos,
Binay, di ba?
Well, anyway, ganito. Pork barrel and dynasties, how are they related to each other? Yung mga political or dynastic political families, of course, they want to perpetuate themselves
For sure.
by controlling the people, and of course, they need money. So ito mga legislators who are political dynasties, they create money through budgeting process, which they can freely use to control the people in their respective localities.
Yes. And hence also, diba, as we mentioned earlier, a lot of corruption there.
Yeah,
Because,
so-
I mean,
so-
this money shouldn't,
so
this is
pork
public
barrel.
money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pork barrel na meron silang say how to spend that, where to give that to.
Exactly what happened yung sa DAP nga, yung 50 million per senator, kaya nga nabulgar yung
Nabulgar.
Yes.
Napolis na yan.
Yes.
Yeah. Kasi doon sinachannel nila sa ghost NGOs na from there, hindi natin alam kung saan pupunta yung pera.
Yeah.
Bigyan mo, each congressman has a 70 million PDAP every year.
Senate, each senator,
Senate
200,
is
di ba?
200 million.
200 million.
200
Wow.
million.
Imagine how much money is that?
Alam niya, attorney, I'll tell you something, and I'll say it on air now. I know a former senator, and this is told to me in confidence, from an unimpeachable source in the Senate. Sabi nila sa akin, itong senador, na ngayon wala na, a senator, I mean, I'm just quoting a former senator telling me this, a senator can earn up to 1 billion a year
Yes.
in
Oh, boy.
in pork barrel and budget insertions. Yun yung sabi sa akin ng isang
Yes.
former senator.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
1 billion a year. So,
That's
itong
true.
200 million, that's only the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
That's
Apparently,
true.
Yeah.
yung laking pera dyan is sa budget deliberation na hindi natin nakikita. Attorney, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand that of the GAA, ating budget, only 40% or 45% is seen by the public, is deliberated on.
Exactly.
All the rest are
Exactly.
like insertions.
Alam mo kasi yung
Yeah.
budgeting, it's a complicated and very technical
Yes,
matter eh.
yes.
Hindi maintindihan ng taong bayan yan eh.
Yes.
Yung insertion ang grabe.
Grabe,
Yan ang
grabe
insertion.
insertion. And
Oh.
you know, it's so, according to the senator, what happens is, when it comes close to deliberation time, sa isang hotel daw yan. Isang floor sila sa hotel at doon sila nagkikita-kita. Doon na yung horse trading na pinag-uusapan.
Yes.
natin.
Yeah.
55 to 60% of the budget. Can you imagine? Magkano po yung budget ng Pilipinas? How many
Oh,
trillions?
ngayon,
Diba?
it's 1.3 ba? trillion, I'm not so sure.
But can you imagine if only 45% of that is actually what we see?
Yes.
Kaya nga, sino may nagsabi na hindi pobre yung Pilipinas eh.
Hindi talaga.
Hindi talaga pobre yung Pilipinas. We have
So with that
much
story,
natural resources.
60% is being siphoned off.
Grabe talaga. Oo.
Could be. Could
Or
be.
even
If we
half
take-
of that. Let's say
yes,
10%.
Even 10% of that's
Oh
a whole
my
a lot of
goodness.
money. No? And it's sad, Mr. Olivares, kasi tuwing may disaster tayo dito, we can see how woefully prepared our Coast Guard
Yeah.
is,
Yes,
our
sabihin,
emergency
walang budget,
services,
okay.
all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I guess dapat ma-highlight talaga yan sa tao eh. So
Oo,
people who are in the know, alam mo yung intricacies ng budget process, should articulate that in very simple terms to the people so that
para
people will
maintindihan.
know.
Oo,
Dapat talaga.
talaga.
Information and
Yes.
knowledge is the first
Yes.
key to empowerment,
Yes.
attorney. Oo. Kasi as you mentioned, the whole process of budgeting is very, I mean, I don't understand it. I
Yes.
mean, so it's very technical. Eh, diba?
Even maraming legislators, hindi rin nila naintindihan yung technical matters of it. Eh. So dapat ma-articulate sa tao yan.
Kanya-kanyang gapangan na yan eh. Pag ano eh, pag before it's submitted eh. As you said, no, yung insertion talagang
Dun yung,
it just
dun
come
yung
out
malaki.
overnight, no?
Yes.
Biglang na-bloat yung budget eh because of the insertions. Eh.
And yun nga, the 200 million per and 70 million per congressman, 200 million per senator, that's only a small
Yeah,
amount
yeah.
of what really
Yeah.
goes on behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
Kunyari, one senator, meron siyang project sa home province niya. Wala naman sa GAL, i-insert niya. Parang mga midnight
So,
insertion.
Anong solusyon dito? How do we expose all
yung
this? How
political
is this?
dynasties nga,
Well,
dapat talaga matigil eh.
Yun nga, ganun nga. Kanina nga, sinasabi ni Grace po, interview sa kanya ni Karen Davila, hindi ko masyado naintindihan. No, ako nga, nagwa-wonder ngayon, itong mga experts natin in budget, how would they be able to remedy this?
Yes, it's a mess. It really
It's
is
really
a
a mess.
Yes.
Nakatago lahat yan sa technicalities eh. It's, they need a lot of things to do.
Yun talaga yung source of crime. And I wish yung daang matuwid ni President Aquino.
Wala
From day one, ito sana yung gusto namin makita. Institutional reform.
Yes,
Diba,
wala
Bernard?
eh.
Yeah.
Institutional
Wala
reform.
siyang-
Diba?
Ako, nung bago siya, I was hoping he was going
were all
into that
optimistic.
direction.
Oo, yeah. We were all,
Pero along the way, nawala eh.
talaga, we were all optimistic
Nawala
eh. At last, may reforms.
And
sa
meron
gobyerno,
siyang
no?
support. Meron siyang
Oo.
political capital
yeah.
to spend. diba?
Yeah,
To
yeah.
push all this.
Oo.
Yes.
Yung
First 2
imagine
years niya
yung-
sa office eh.
Yung popularity
Taas
rating
nung
niya.
capital,
grabe.
political capital niya, di ba?
The optimism was there, the
Yes.
belief.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately now, last 2 years of his administration, how do you see this panning out? Mukhang he could be bogged down in defending this position for the next remaining year and how many months? Barely 2 years.
Yeah.
Barely
Yes.
23 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's attacking the Supreme Court. So wala na siyang gagawing iba, kundi yun. And these people na naging kaaway niya, wala namang gagawin na iba, kundi hanapan na naman siya ng butas.
Actually, as early as now, they consider him as a lame duck president already. No? Talagang lame duck na eh. So, all he has to do is to defend himself and what he has done the past 4 years.
Yes.
No?
Before we go, unfortunately, we come to the end of the show. Alam mo, pag itong usapan, talagang time goes by very fast. So before we go, last words, let's start muna with Sec Gen.
Okay. Political dynasties is prohibited by Constitution. And for 27 years, our legislators failed or refused to pass a law defining what political dynasty is. Of course, for obvious reasons. We know that. Now, with the PDAP and DAP, which are both pork barrels, these pork barrels are the one fattening the legislators who belong to political dynasty. So let's dismantle this pork barrel and let's dismantle political dynasties.
Very well said. Mr. Olivares,
Well, sa
Chairman.
akin, yung DAP and PDAF are the noose that will hang the politicians, most especially the political dynasties. So I am requesting our senators and congressmen not to squander this opportunity to uplift their image again, no? by this enacting this bill against political dynasties, no? Because talagang, as I said, itong tatlong to magkakambal eh, no? So if they can only come up with this bill banning dynasties, then people will now have the hope that itong corruption about surplus money, so much money being squandered, will also be corrected. So I hope they will not squander this opportunity. This is the golden opportunity for the congressmen and senators to really have a better image than what talagang sira-sirang
To
image.
recover.
Di ba?
Yes.
To recover.
Sana po. Sana.
Sirang image.
We're all
So,
hoping
sana
for that.
si Senator Drilon and Speaker Belmonte will now push, no, for hindi watered down anti-dynasty bill, but the bill that people want to see, no, na talagang one per family. Okay, make it two.
Pagbigyan na two.
But yung two,
Compromise.
from all levels, from national to local level.
Yes.
Hindi yung dalawang senador, no? Kailangan, I mean, isang senador at isang kagawad, hindi pwede rin yun, no?
Estrada ka.
Oo.
San Juan, Manila.
Oo, hindi pwede. Tsaka,
Laguna, ba't nawala?
tsaka iba-ibang provinces, no? Hindi pwede yun.
Well,
no?
gentlemen, good luck in your quest. And nandito mo po kami para sumuporta sa inyo. Anytime you want to
Thank you.
talk about this issue
Thank
again,
you.
we're here. And we will
Thank
try
you.
to spread this message as far and as wide as possible.
Yes,
Thank you very
hanggang
much.
papalapit yung 2016, we really should push this issue to
Salamat
the
po.
people. No?
Salamat po. And more power to MAD,
Thank you. Thank you.
Movement Against Political Dynasties.
Thank you very much.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed our talk now on political dynasties, DAP and PDAP. Join us again next week here on the show where we talk about what matters to you, because you guys matter the most. I'll see you next week.